Hi, I'm Lance Jones from Somerby at Rolleston. We want to show you some of the things we've done here at Somerby, some of the very interesting stuff, and we'll go through the maps and give you the rundown. We're in a corridor which is virtually a corridor here. It's on a gully, and right where we're standing, here's a point where the cattle camp. And you can see what I say, how the cattle feed away. They start here and feed out, whereas if it's in a clump, they'll feed all the way around, which makes it a lot safer for fire. This point here is no problem because the cattle have eaten away from here, but further down the gully, they won't have camped there at all, and that'll be a danger if a fire comes through. Here we have a shallow gully. It is a catchment area for about quite a few hundred acres. The water comes down here in a big way. Doesn't look it very much perhaps, but it is one of those sort of gullies. Get a heavy rain, storm, a lot of water comes through here. You can notice all the good grass there. There's no environmental damage, there's no soil damage of any kind, and it's fully grassed up. And the stock don't walk up it, cause it any problem. Now, we look back further down, and you'll see the damage we have where the ground hasn't been cleared. And now this is contrary, what I've done is contrary to what DPI recommendations were, totally. And I felt it was wrong, and I've proven it's wrong. And that, look at that grass up there, and this country 8 weeks ago was totally drought stricken. And there's cattle in here today at a beast of about 1 to 9 acres. And there's a mile of grass here for them, there's no damage. We have heavy melon hole country, crab hole if you're in the southern states, but the melon hole up here in Queensland. Very difficult country to handle. It's a very intense clay, this particular lot is. Very heavy brigalow, a type that suckers very bad. And we've blade ploughed this, but what we're leaving is our environmental strips. These strips are 12 metres wide, and they will retain that native brigalow the way it's been. So that'll help with our whole environmental issue. We do 6 runs with the blade plough, 6 up and down, and then we leave 2. And this is the result. Now the result of the blade ploughing is most interesting. You'll notice looking around the ground here, there's little divots everywhere, and that is a tremendous water holder. The amount of water we get back into our ground and retain in our ground is enormous. On freshly blade ploughed country you can have up to 4 or 5 inches of heavy rain and you'll have no runoff. As the ground melts down, it'll gradually come and the water will start to run off it. So if you've got a dam below a blade ploughed country, you most likely won't have any water in it for a fair while. That's one of the results, which is unfortunate, but it soon gets over that and water will run in time. But it also gives a bed for seed. The little gullies and that, water gets in there with the seed, and you get your better pasture straight away. Tremendous, and it's been a great asset to the brigalow country. An interesting thing is what the dung beetles are doing. The dung beetle was introduced to Australia a number of years ago now, because Australia never had any real native ones. There are a few little ones, but not of any consequence. And as cattle are not native, or cloven hoofed animals aren't native to Australia, we didn't have the correct environmental destroyer, if you like to call it, to get rid of the dung. Now these things do a fantastic job. They hit the dung as soon as it's dropped, and they bury it. And you'll see the holes here. Oh, I covered them up. There's the hole there. They actually take it down, so they're taking the nutriment out of the dung and putting it down through the soil. And they can, in good ground, go up to, I believe, 6 or 8 inches, even a foot. But on this ground here, which is fairly hard, they probably only get down 2 or 3 inches. But they take the nutriment back down, so that in turn recycles back in grass. So that applies all around the paddock, so there's nothing wasted. Also, it gets rid of the flies. You'll notice there's very few flies around here. They keep the flies down because they dry it out that quick they don't breed. Right, after initial pulling, when the scrub is pulled down with 2 tractors and a big chain, we then seed it and burn it. and then seed it again. That's the program we've done here at Somerby. Now, you have three choices of looking after the regrowth. The first one is to run a chain over it again as they get up several metres high. You can blade plough, which we've done here, or you can do a pellet form by air with grasslands. Now, grasslands does a good job on most soils, not so good on the heavy clay soils without very high expenditure of pellets, but they do destroy every tree that's there, and we don't like that. And that is one of the main reasons we keep blade ploughing. Besides, we introduce new species of pasture, our stylos, which are a legume, looking for long-term sustainability. And if there's something in the ground, a type of buffel grass you don't like, you can change and put a new type in to help counteract that. Perhaps your bambatsi grass or panic, or a number of things you can do. So that's why we particularly like blade ploughing. It will put your country out of production for a little bit longer perhaps, but there's some work we'll show you later with the amount of feed you can grow in a very short time. You'll appreciate that with rain we can do anything.